right.
We're back.
11.
Everybody now.
I
Morning,
like
everyone.
the music. It reminds me of being in the market center. That was awesome.
And
I didn't see a lot of hand motions going on, but that's okay. We'll get that rectified. Morning, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Awesome. Good morning.
Can you see what that says?
now what?
Now what? Good question, huh? Now what? So welcome to 7/1/2020. What does today represent? Anyone know?
A new month.
New month.
Beginning of second quarter.
Third
Mid-year.
Or
Third quarter.
Halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year.
2025.
halfway done.
Yep. Half of the year is in our rearview mirror.
And
Right?
Jenny's husband's birthday.
So the question is, now what? That's the question. You don't need to answer, by the way, today. You don't have to answer out loud. I want you to ponder that question. Now what? Half the year's gone. Now what?
Get busy.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what? You know what I mean by that? Now what?
I don't. What do you mean by that, Chris?
So what's next? So look, here's the deal. Every day that passes in our life, we have a choice. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
We
True,
can
yeah.
we can look at
Yes.
the day or the month or the year or the half year.
Oh,
and
what's
say,
going
"Oh my
on?"
gosh, things have gone exceedingly well. And by the way, well then now what? So what do I do to keep that momentum? Maybe on the other hand, somebody has gotten to this point and you're at the mid-year point and you're thinking, oh my Lord, what a year it's been. I've seen so many social media posts around, push the reset button and all these other things, right? Have you guys seen those? Right? So the question I'm asking myself, and that's what I want to share with you, now what? So Chris, now what are you going to do in the next half of the year? Start with today. Now what are you going to do? That's what I'm asking myself. So what I wanted to share that question with you is I share with others, well, now what? So any area of your life, whether it's your business, whether it's your finances, whether it's your family, no matter how you showed up to today, tomorrow can be better. Would you agree with that? So that's my opening sermon this morning. How are you, Patrick Woods?
I'm doing amazing.
Awesome. All right. Let's go to our first slide, shall we? Oh yeah, it's July 1st, 2020. Now what? Okay, go ahead. All right, Diane Johnson. You are a reader this morning, if you would, please.
You have to unmute yourself. Marcy, can you unmute her? There we go.
If you work hard on your job, you will make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you will make a fortune.
Okay, cool. Who said that?
Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn, that's right. So here's the deal, right? So if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. What the heck does that quote mean?
I think to me it's more of like, well, if you work hard on your job, a job is a job. People, it's just a job. It's when you're working on yourself, you're making for it. So for you, it's your future. A job is just a job, but you need to build your future in order to make a fortune. You can't stay in one job that's never going to take you anywhere. If you want to grow higher, if you want to have that fortune, you can't be in a same job and do the same thing if you're not even into it your whole life. That's how I see it.
Yep, cool. Corey, thank you for sharing that. Who else has a take on that quote today?
Chris, I'd like to jump in if I could. It's Bobby over at Land Home.
Yes.
It's very simple. The way I see it is that if you work hard on yourself, as you make yourself better each and every day, you're going to make those around you even better. And the more you do that, at the end of the day, if it translates into your job, it's making everything better. And the more you make things better, the more you're helping people, the more you end up making a fortune at the end of the day. It's really not about transactions, it's about relationships.
Yep. Cool, Bobby. Thank you for sharing that. All right, anybody else on that quote?
I have a couple
Yes.
takes on that.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Woods?
Who's gonna go?
Go ahead, Patrick.
No, go. Go,
Go,
Mom.
May.
Hi.
Hi.
Go for it, May.
Oh, okay. So if you work hard on yourself, you will make a fortune. I mean, you develop yourself, you grow, and you learn, you adapt, and you adjust with any situation. So anything come and hit you, you can handle it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Jenna Deacon posted, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like the word in there, fortune. And
Okay.
is that purely money?
Yeah, good point.
Right. So obviously it goes to the bold law, you know, your business grows to the extent that you do. And I think a lot of us, I've said this 100 times, probably more, we got into this industry to have the freedom of our time, the unlimited income opportunity, and to create wealth, to have a much bigger life. And so the question I love to ask when I'm mapping out my goals is, who do I need to become in order to accomplish that? Right. And then on this, if I'm growing and I'm building myself, the fortune is much bigger than just financial.
Yep. Well said, Mr. Woods.
Yes,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, when I saw this, and I saw this quote years ago, actually heard this quote years ago, probably circa 1991 or 92 would be the first time I heard this quote. I didn't know of the bold law that our business grow to the extent that we do, but when I reread this again today, that's the first one that popped into my head. So, and you're absolutely spot on. It's not just about the financial fortune, it's about the fortune in our lives. Cool. All right, next slide. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this again. Gratitude. Are you serious? Okay. There's some promises I made to all of you, and this is one of them. So let's hear it. What are you grateful for today, July 1st, 2020?
I'm grateful. I am grateful to Amber and her family for letting me come up to the ranch and spend the weekend with them for 4th of July and hang out. So thank you, Amber.
Cool. That's a cool drive too, by the way.
I'm excited.
All right, awesome. That Kate Brown up there is pretty tough in Oregon. You better be careful, Lauren.
And I'll go. I'm grateful for great friends that I've met in this company. All of the agents in our market center working so hard. I'm talking to so many of you, and ability to coach from the country. You know, just with everything going on and shifting and changing and adapting, I'm still able to do what I love doing, even from almost 400 miles away. So I'm grateful for that.
I'll go, even though you can't see my face right now. Can you hear me?
Rachel,
yeah.
Come on. Put the
Okay.
Rachel.
I'm bringing my daughter to my dad's house so that he can watch her. So I'm grateful for that. But I'm also grateful that it's been super hard, obviously. Excuse me. It's been super hard, obviously, with the whole COVID thing. You know, everybody's kind of in their own space right now, and we're not getting to do our typical, feed off each other with energy. But even with that, I feel like I would not want to be anywhere else than our market center, because I have not once felt like alone or like I had no options or somewhere I couldn't go to like learn something else new or call somebody or anything like that. So I am super, super grateful for everybody who's there, and Chris, and obviously the whole team, and Patrick and Amber and everybody who makes that possible, because that is not something I hear from these other agents, and they seem like they're all on their own and they're floundering. And though maybe production isn't as great as it could be, I've never once felt alone. So I'm super thankful for that.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing that.
Who's next?
I will go. I am super grateful for my team. We just started building in January and then really started ramping up when COVID hit. And we've kind of built this little family, and we have a lot of support. And even though we're with our families every day, I have a second family. So I really want to thank them for that.
That's awesome, Leslie. Thank you. And they are a lovely bunch. I get to say hi to them almost every day.
Who else?
Even though one of her team members has a potty mouth.
April. Where's
I didn't say the name. Actually, it wasn't as bad as Diane Jones. I mean, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say she must be hanging out with Lauren.
I didn't even say anything, Chris. Don't say that. I didn't even
See, you just called yourself out. Okay.
You thought it, which meant that it came from you, not my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
I heard it, April.
All right, here we go.
That's funny.
Okay, who else?
Can I just chime in on what Rachel said real quick? So it's not gratitude. I just want to put it out there. What Rachel said was, and I'm actually grateful for what Rachel said. And I just want to put it out there. If anybody is feeling alone, I tell people this all the time, that the one thing that we have not perfected is our ability to read minds. And so if you are feeling alone, lost in the shuffle, need a little direction, raise your hand. Let us know, because I know that we have a phenomenal team here and phenomenal agents here that would play all in with you if you need it. So I just want to put that out there. If I know we get a lot of kudos on feeling like we're in the trenches with you guys, and if you're not feeling that, let us know, because we definitely want you to be feeling the love and support as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I'm going to just go on that a little bit. And so, you know, look, objectively, there's a lot of things that we do really, really, really well in this market center. And what I want everyone to know, whether it's our expression of care or anything that we do, we are continually striving to be better in every area. So, yeah, so we never go, hey, we got this thing dialed. It's a continual work in progress. So, thank you all.
I think there was a quote on that somewhere.
Yeah. All right, who else?
I don't know if John Nastro's on here, but I wanted to thank him for taking time out of his evening, not once, but twice last week, to help me with a transaction. And I try not to make those phone calls, but sometimes we have to. And for those of you who haven't interacted with him, he's phenomenal, and he's available, and he will answer your question. So don't be afraid to reach out to him. And I wanted to thank him for that time, because it helped save a deal. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Leslie. I'm here.
Oh, thank you, John.
In the corner.
There you are. Bottom right.
That's funny. All right, who else?
I'm thankful for my family. My wife will keep me pretty grounded. I see, if you watch the news for like 5 minutes, it seems like it's too much, and I get so frustrated. And she basically just says, "You can't control any of that. Why do you keep on stressing yourself out for that? You just need to control what you can control." So that's, for me, that's why I'm very thankful for my wife and my family.
Cool. Thanks, Greg. Who else?
I'll piggyback off that. I am super grateful for my husband. I have changed my career 3 times since we've been together, and he has always supported every decision that I've made. Gives me pep talks even when I'm feeling down or low. He kind of motivates me to keep going, and you're going to be great. And I'm blessed to have somebody like that in my corner. So I'm super grateful for my husband.
Cool. Thanks, April. What's your husband's name?
Anthony.
Anthony. All right. All right, awesome. Who else?
I was gonna ask somebody if they know any of the banks do not charge PMI insurance when you get a loan for the buy.
Sam, that is such a great segue to our next chapter.
Oh.
Because we have Karen Dunn with Big Valley Mortgage, I believe, up next, and she might be able to weigh in on that. So Karen, let's do your mortgage minute, and can you weigh in on Sam's question? Uh-oh. Karen?
Karen, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I will ask your question in a minute, Sam, but Good morning and happy July to everybody. Now that we are done with the first half of June, it's time to reevaluate your goals for 2020 and see where you are halfway through the year and what you need to do to get back on track or to tweak them at all. I'm always here to help you rework your goals, to see how I can help you get back on track, or if you just need an accountability partner, I'm here for you, so let me know. Now, I always try and give you guys a reason to call your database because it's always hard to just call them out of the blue, so it's always nice to have a reason. So one thing is we're expecting a lot of appreciation in the house values over the next few years. And it's a great time right now to contact renters, maybe not your database, maybe these are cold calls, but it's renters because they don't always notice the appreciation. They just see my rent is this, my mortgage would be this. That's all they see. But if you educate them, let them know that, hey, you're buying a house right now. It's projected that we're going to have some appreciation. Yes, it's not guaranteed, but if you buy now, your appreciation could be, and they could be making money on top of making rent versus mortgage payments. So it's a great reason to get out there, talk to the renters out there. So it's always good to become their trusted source. And we do still have down payment assistance programs. So those are out there for the renters that don't have any cash. So let me know how I can help them. According to the experts, rates are going to stay low well into 2021. So let's keep selling. Now, Sam, on your question, there are programs, you can do lender paid mortgage insurance. So that is an option. There are some subprime loans that do have there are some special programs out there that have some no MI, less than 20% down. But it's going to be case by case and it's going to be credit score driven and things like that. So, talk to me off and we can definitely look into that. Today, 30.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. So on that, would it generally, if you find something, is it generally though going to be somehow reflective in the rate, i.e.
Correct.
Right? So I take my MI away and I just essentially get a higher rate.
Correct. Yes. So it's going there's going to be there somewhere. I mean, it's going to be either self-insured with a special program, or you're going to have it lenders paying for it up front for you. So your rate's going to be higher, and that's how they're covering the cost. So right now, 30 years at 3%, FHA is at 2.75. And let me know how I can help you with your business, with your clients, and hope you all have a happy and safe 4th of July. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. It's kind of funny when you quoted that rate, Karen, because I had a conversation probably, oh golly, a long time ago now. Let's see, what year is this? I worked
20.
Did you ever meet Brian Phillips, Karen?
Yes.
Okay, so Brian Phillips was a great guy. He was our in-house mortgage person at the time that the company I was with. And I'll never forget, he did this great presentation. He actually stood on one of the office cubicles. Great presentation. And I think at that point, rates were like 5 or 5.5%. He stood up and made a proclamation. The rates would never be lower. I always give him crap about that. He's still in the lending business in California, and he still remembers that day. So yeah, it's hard to believe 3% and 2 point something. It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that is a great reason to reach out to your database, because there's still people out there that have not refied or maybe looked at selling and purchasing because of the fact they can buy another home.
Absolutely. Take money out and buy another one.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Karen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get your singing voices.
Yeah. Is everybody ready?
Unmute yourself, guys. We're
Yeah, we
gonna
can.
sing.
All right.
Unmute.
You ready?
Unmute.
This is the real Are You Ready? Okay.
Ready?
So by the way, if I worked anywhere, I'd work here just for this portion of the team meeting. I'm telling you right
Me.
Lead us in, Jenna.
No, we don't need Jenna. Jenna can sing. That's the whole point to this.
I love this. I love this.
Jenna, when you sing, I want you to sing in your worst voice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Michael,
Chris,
Rebecca,
Michelle, Rebecca, Markel,
Will, Rebecca,
Victoria,
Markel,
Patrick,
Victoria,
Andrew,
Patrick,
Julie, Jill, Lori, Andy.
Woo!
More.
Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday to all of you.
July 22nd. That's a popular day.
Hey, you can get a free Slurpee on 7-Eleven, Chris.
Yeah, well, you know that the
He doesn't
Slurpee
drink
and I
that
were
stuff.
literally born the same day. True story. The Slurpee was born 7/11/1966.
Dang.
There you go. All right. Okay. And by the way, Lori Mote is born the same day as my mommy. All right. You all sitting down? Paydays.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
I'm very excited.
Here we go.
Okay, hit it. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Okay, George. I can't. Okay, Jason, Nicole, Derek,
Nicole,
Tracy,
Derek,
Annalyn,
Tracy,
Alice
Annalyn,
Renaud, Diana Martinez,
Diana, Alicia,
Allie,
Max and
Mo
Tom,
Lewis,
Allie, Mode,
Mo
Gold
Group,
Group, Tyler.
Shantae. Oh, I can't see the top over there. Amber, Mindy, Tom, Connie, Guy, Pablo, PWG, Miranda,
Wow.
Nikki, Infinity, Garrett, Michelle and Kuhn, Johnson Bauer, Albiani. Woo woo!
57. That is outstanding.
For 2 weeks, last 2 weeks. That's awesome.
Outstanding.
Woohoo. Good job, guys.
Good guy.
You guys are rock stars.
You guys didn't get the memo that there's this whole pandemic going on.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, next.
Full pivot. Woohoo.
Yeah, so the whole question, now what? Karen Dunn says, now what are your goals? And then we talk about Jim Rohn's quote that if you work hard in your job, that's cool. And if you work on yourself, that's
cooler.
Fortune it. It'll make you a fortune, right? So the reason we keep looping on things like Bold Pivot and all these things that we do isn't just to entertain everyone. It's so that we take specific and sustained action for business and life improvement over time so that you are blessed with immense fortune. So July 14th is the next round of Bold Pivot. They've made some, like everything else, this is now Bold Pivot 3.0. So sign up, bring a guest. Bring a guest. I don't care what line of work they're in. I don't care who they are, what they do. There's something in this for everyone, if for no other reason than the mindset component itself. Amber, you have anything to say about Bold Pivot?
Yeah, just to piggyback off what you said, what I'm seeing, I have the advantage of looking at agent businesses across the board, working with over 40 agents. I get insight into a lot of businesses. What I'm seeing is the ones that are active, staying engaged in coaching, doing Bold Pivot. There's a gap happening between those who are doing those things and those who are not. And so I can tell the ones that are showing up and plugging into the training, their business, it's showing up in their business.
Yeah.
So I encourage you to, even if you did it before, do it again. It's going to get better. You're in a different place in your business. It helps keep that level of accountability going, which is helpful, and pushes you through the summer months, which looks like it's going to be a fantastic summer. It's busy.
Yep, it's busy for sure. Okay, awesome. All right, next. Oh, that was so suspenseful. Okay, so here's the deal. I had a conversation with an agent at another brokerage just yesterday, and she and I were talking, and she's talking about, we were talking about her goals and everything else, and I said, hey, how's that assistant hiring thing going? Because she hired somebody the natural way, right? The entrepreneurial way. Hey, I really liked her, and I'm like, oh, cool, how'd that work out? Oh my gosh, Chris. And I don't like rejoice when people say this, although it does, because I'm a guy, I guess I'm supposed to like this. She says, you were right. It didn't work out. And I said, tell me more. And she did it. So I sent her a link to this and told her, well, for $99, I told her about our hashtag, don't be a moron. And she laughed. And I said, this would be one of those things that if you choose not to and just continue to hire the way you've been hiring, you'll get the results that you've always gotten, right? So she's going to sign up for this. So career visioning. So for anyone who's ever contemplated growing a team, hiring, making your first hire the right way. The cool thing is we have a system to do that. And oh, by the way, for those guests on the call today, whether you're a mortgage lender, title escrow, whatever, this is a great process, once again, for anybody, including guests from any brokerage out there. Patrick Woods, you've taught this a few times in your life. What would you say about CV and why one should jump in?
Well, the thing that always comes to mind is when the opportunity presents itself, it's too late to prepare. And so even if you're not in a position where you want to hire somebody yet, this is one of those foundational courses on how to build your empire. And here's the other thing. How many people have ever, just quick show of hands, how many people have ever taken this course before? Okay, so a few hands. Yep. Do you remember what the price was?
Well, a lot more than
Almost
this.
400.
Yeah.
It was between $350 and $400. So what they've done, and this isn't just because of COVID, they've reduced the price on this so that the price is no longer a deterrent, which is crazy to think about. $350 being a deterrent to somebody making a phenomenal hire that a poor hire could cost them an arm and a leg, right? And now it's only $99, and you have one of the best, Tony Brody, teaching this class. I've taken this class numerous times. I've taught it numerous times. I've taken people through this process. It's invaluable. And so, like I said, and like Chris said, it's something that you definitely want to take, because you're going to be at a point where you're going to be, based on the service that you provide, you're going to create so many raving fans in your business that you will need leverage. And one of those leverage pieces is people. And for $99 to have a system to do that, it's huge.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, next. Drum roll, please. Cheryl, are you here?
Yes, I am, Chris.
Howdy, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
I've been very well and glad to be back in the office.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since like 10:15.
Right?
Yeah, okay. So what are we doing here?
I will be available on Thursdays from 11 to 12 for questions that you might have on command and compliance in command. Not about how to set up a marketing piece or whatever, strictly compliance and commissions. I can help with commissions as well as Marcy. You have questions? Let's do it. Let's do it soon.
Yeah, so first of all, Cheryl, thank you for your willingness. So this is going to be recurrent, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this is not a one-time, one and done. So essentially, with some rare exception, beginning tomorrow from 11 to 12, ongoing on Thursdays, I can Zoom in with you, with others, and say, hey, how do I split a document? And I don't understand when, I'm getting rejected things. What the heck do I do?
Yes.
Right? So pretty much anything and everything.
Yes. And also I wanted to note, please invite your TCs.
Yep.
Because they're welcome also.
Yep. And then in between, Cheryl, so if I'm an agent in the Market Center, and you know how I feel about you, right?
Yes.
I've said since day one that you are a resource to this Market Center. So there's two ways always to look at somebody in compliance. One is, oh my gosh, they strike fear in me, which they should have a little bit of that in you, right? Because we want to make sure that we're keeping you all out of harm's way. But Cheryl's a resource, right? Some of you know that my daughter's a TC. If my daughter doesn't understand something, she she picks up the phone and calls Cheryl or sends Cheryl an email. So what I want you all to know is that the resource that she is for you as an agent and or for your transaction coordinator, if there's something that's amiss or you just don't quite get, there is no such thing as a dumb question other than the question that's never asked.
Yeah.
Is that true, Cheryl?
That's correct.
Yeah, so she will take great care of you. Just reach out to her she'll take care of you even outside of the Zoom. So Cheryl, thank you for your willingness to do this.
Yes. Yes, outside the Zoom call, I'm still available. You need to call me or email me or walk in my office at 6 feet apart. You're welcome.
Yep.
All the time.
No touching. No touching.
Well, that's until the COVID's over.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheryl is a hugger, so you got to be careful because she might digress, and then you have to like run backwards. All right. All right. Okay. Next. Command tip.
Cheryl, you want to let them know what you've done?
Yes, and TCs and agents who are doing their own will love this little trick. We've created a checklist for when you're the agent for both sides. Currently, you've been uploading everything twice. That's a lot of work. So what we did was we created for the buyer's side, you upload just the page 1 of the RPA so I can verify that you really are double-ending it. And then we upload the demand and the checks, the closing statement. Everything else goes in the listing side. So you upload everything there.
Awesome.
So only one time uploading everything.
Okay, cool. So I want to clarify double N for a second here. So you're not talking about the brokerage per se, or are you? You're talking about the actual little A agent, me as
just the agent.
Okay.
So if Chris, you listed the property and you sold it.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And the transaction checklist for that is called the double-ended same agent. Easy to spot in the list of the different checklists.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next. Can you play that song, Safety Dance? F-F-F-E-E. Anybody from the 80s around here? Yeah, okay. All right, who's up?
That would be me, safety team. Hello, everyone. Just want to go over, safety first when you're doing private showings. Make sure you have the disposable masks, disposable gloves, obviously hand sanitizers. Another one we forgot to put on there is when they're filling out the PED forms, just to buy some inexpensive pens so people have the chance to just keep the pen instead of using the same pen for them to sign the forms. This goes if you're doing private showings for your listings. Remember, you have to have the slotted time for that. And typically you'll have one entrance and then have them exit out, like let's say through the backyard or the garage. Don't have the same people going out the entrance that they came through. And then obviously we all know, limit the amount of people to being inside the home. So about 3, 2, or 1 including yourself, right, Amber?
Yes.
2 total?
Yes.
2 total?
2 with an agent.
Yes, 2, or well, 3 with you, including you. So
correct. Yeah.
Be safe out there and just make sure you have these supplies on hand.
So is this, Brian, in lieu of, quote, open houses? Is this?
Yeah, we call it private showings.
So we can do like a 1 to 4 and schedule appointments, and they don't necessarily have to have an agent? Is that what this is about?
Correct. And just making sure you have that slot filled in on your sheet. So if they set up, okay, we have a time between 12 and 1, and then we could record that time, 12 to 1, put their name, and then they'll show up between 12 and 1. And then that's why we're saying you should have all these supplies on hand for those viewers.
Yes.
So on that right quick, a couple things on open houses. So A, we want to be careful how we use that term. In fact, there was
Don't
something
use it.
came up.
we can't say open house.
Private showing.
Right. So, so no signs, right?
No.
Anything that's going to look like an open house. And the reason I bring that up is because my phone does ring a fair amount with people saying, hey, I was told by an agent who, well, Lion has 3 open houses this weekend with signs and everything else. So it's highly problematic. Dave Tanner, I don't know if any of you saw the video yesterday, was talking about how you report people and everything else. Regardless of that, where I think we're at this point, we probably all know, just as citizens in California, that the highest road that we can take minimizes the risk of us all getting sent back home and or us being non-essential. So what we don't want to do is forget the misdemeanor and all that for a second. What we don't want to do is do things that lead us to going backwards and becoming non-essential, or guess what, can't show occupied homes again, or some crazy thing like that, right? So we want to follow this letter.
If you could have a second person with you, either team member or assistant, where they can man the front with the PED forms and giving the gloves or the mask that's required. That way, you don't have that whole thing just unoccupied if you're doing it like in the garage or in the front or however you want to do it. But you definitely need to set up outside of the home. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, next. John Nastro.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Was going to make a quick comment on that. Everyone probably, if they're not friends with Dave Tanner on Facebook, because he posts videos, you probably should friend him and get those updates, because he's really pushing to make sure you don't use the wording open house at all. Because again, we don't want to where we can't show anything at all. The signage, really more labeling Facebook ads, other social media stuff. We're seeing more and more, and things get reported back to me, and we'll be reaching out to some individual agents in the office. But seems like a lot of agents are just using just their name, and Keller Williams doesn't appear anywhere. Because I get these things sent to me by agents and other people and just say, take a look, how can I use this? And it's like, no, you can't. And it doesn't reference, no license number, does not say Keller Williams. You should be proud you're with Keller Williams. We're the most powerful company in the US or maybe the world. So don't be afraid to put it on there. It doesn't have to be in 8-foot letters, but it should be definitely where you can see it. And please make it when you're running ads or even a social event. You can have, Jim Smith Realty, or not, you can't use that, excuse me, Jim Smith agent and then Keller Williams Realty, or the Jim Smith team and then Keller Williams Realty. And it doesn't even hurt to have both DRE numbers also, your individual one and underneath Keller Williams, you certainly can put the KW one, even though that's not required, but just a suggestion, because what I'm seeing with some of the other offices, people are turning us in. Okay, there's some haters out there, and DRE, when they get a complaint filed on somebody, the old days they used to have to assign somebody and go out in the field and look at the sign and verify it. They can just log in, type your name in the internet and go, oh yeah, this guy's in violation or this woman's in violation. It's very easy, and you don't want a letter from the DRE. Trust me.
Yeah. That's only second, maybe first to a letter from the IRS.
Yeah, exactly. It might even be more scarier, it seems like.
Never fun, never fun.
Yeah, I hate getting the ones from my probation officer. Those are the worst. Okay. What else?
Just show up on time, Chris.
What else, John? Anything else?
There was just those, I think either Marcy or Lauren was going to send out some new advisory forms, just some notes on some new forms that are out there. And certainly I'm noticing new wordage in a lot of the different, even listing agreement has different wordage on there, but I'm sure we're covering those in the contract class. But it's important to keep on top of that because it seems like things change daily now.
Yep.
Yeah, so it hasn't gone out just yet. There's a handful of documents. Eileen will get that out shortly. Some of the new ones are RLA, the SCLM form, TDS. So there's a bunch, maybe about 12 that just updated yesterday. So if you guys have templates in your car forms for listing agreements and all like that, please make sure you guys are changing that and updating those so you're not pulling in the old template. So make sure you guys are updating that. If you need any help with that, just let me know.
Yeah, feel free to reach out if you got questions on some of the new things, because new questions and new statements popped up in those forums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we move on, so the other thing I'm going to give you all of you again is my favorite acronym RTFC or RTFF. Read the friggin' contract or read the friggin' form. And I mean that in all sincerity, because here's one of the things that I see. So an agent will ask, I will often have an agent come to me and say, hey, Chris, I need an opinion. And I'll say, okay, what's that? And they say, what do you think about, and they'll ask me a contract question. And I say, well, the great news is I'm not going to give you an opinion. I'm going to actually tell you what the contract says. So the cool part about contracts and forms is that they're not opinion based. So what we should not be doing, and this, by the way, will elevate your game as a professional real estate guy or gal, and that is that you will not rely on opinion. You will rely on what the agreement between the buyer and seller actually says. That's actually very freeing, by the way, because it takes a lot of the emotion out, where a lot of times, you know, you're upset with Susie or Fred in the office because you feel that they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. It makes it really easy because it's what the contract says. It's not what Amber says. It's not what I say. It's what the contract says. Fair?
Fair.
Okay, cool. What's next? PC wins.
Woohoo! All right, so productivity coaching team is kicking butt. We have several firsts. I'd like to recognize Michelle Hansen. She has her first listing and got it under contract. So we're working on that. Jessica Tootle has her first deal with KW. So she just got that in the contract. Go, Jess. Awesome job. And Clara Labrie has her first buyer under contract. So Leslie downline, great referral there. We got her in production. So awesome. Great activity happening. Show up to coaching. It's working. If you're a launch agent, Wednesday at 1. If you're any other agent, Thursday at 9:30.
Yep.
I'd love to see you there.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Leslie?
I'm here.
All right, cool. So Leslie, thank you this morning for moderating our panel. And so I'm going to just turn it over to you and let you rock and roll with this puppy. How's that?
Hey.
You ready?
So, hey everybody, for those of you that don't know me, I am Leslie Sturwalt, and I'm on the Agent Leadership Council for 2020, part of the Career Development Committee. So we wanted to kind of do a roundtable of what's been going on with online trainings. So we've had some folks in our office take the Spring Mastermind. It used to be that it was part of a perk for being a MAPS coaching client. They've opened it up during COVID, so you could pay $49 and take this 2-day course. And we found some folks that thought it was valuable and wanted to share their takeaways from it. So we've got Rachel Bauer, who's joining us, TJ Tahara, and then Brian Zamora. So I'm just going to introduce TJ. If you can share with us, TJ, how long you've been with Keller and in real estate, if you're a solo agent or on a team, and then we'll go through like your takeaways and ahas.
Sure. TJ Thiara, been with KW Elk Grove, my one and only company. Yay! Since 2007, I think. What else did you want me to say about this?
Are you a solo agent or on a team?
Oh, yes, I'm a solo agent, always have been, planning to always be. Yeah, that's about it.
So was this your first time doing Spring Masterminds?
Yes.
And so what was your experience? I know this was the first time they've done it digitally. It used to be you would attend a 2-day event and then they would do breakout sessions and roundtables. And so this is the first time they've done that. What was the experience like for you?
You know what? It was good. I didn't quite know what to expect. I've done the mega camps before down in Austin, so I kind of had that in the back of my mind. But this was sort of a follow-up to the Bold Pivot that I had just completed, so it was kind of a continuation. And I got more out of the first day, which was the panel discussions on a few different topics. Second day was breakouts into small groups. A lot of great information just for me personally, because I'm not a team and I don't really have any interest at this point to develop a team. Second day breakouts, there were a lot of, because it was smaller groups and it was sort of self-managed, self-discussed, whatever. A lot of discussion regarding teams. So I got more out of the first day where we actually had more of a structured sort of presentation and discussion on different panels.
What was the topics of the first day?
They had recruiting, growing, and keeping talent, database domination, command your way to success, heart of a team, so they had that on there, luxury home market. Yeah, I think those were the main topics they had.
What was your one takeaway that you would want to implement in your business on a go-forward basis?
Well, I have a couple actually.
Share with us.
Actually, I'll give you three, only because a couple of them we all know we should be doing. One that I've been hearing over and over and over is everybody needs to have some sort of a morning routine, right? Like to get us going, get our mindset right. And it's not, it's journaling, it's exercise, it's giving gratitude, it's journaling, maybe just 10 minutes on each of those just to get your headspace in the right place, to get your morning going. So obviously, you know, they spent quite a bit discussing that again. And I've been kind of doing the Savers program, you know, for a little bit now, more consistently now than before. So I think that's really good. A little takeaway I got was, you know, we all get into this thing about writing notes everywhere. Like we have a notepad here, we've got a notebook there, and we get these ideas and they're all in different places. So journal of learning, put a little book together and just put all your notes in that journal. Even if you take any notebook, tear it out and put it in that journal. So you have all of your ideas in one spot.
Rachel calls that word vomit, right, Rachel?
Yeah, it's word vomit.
I just was like, wow, it's so simple.
A whole book.
Post-it notes and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So that one was a good one. And then be purposeful with your database. You know, we're all supposed to be working in command and utilizing more, which I know we all are. But rather than just haphazardly, be more purposeful with what you're doing and how you're doing it. And if nothing else, put everybody on a monthly Nurture Smart plan plus quarterly call equals boom in your business.
And have you started doing that?
Yeah, I have actually.
Great.
Yeah.
So would you recommend if we had another one? I don't know if they're doing one in fall or not, but they usually do them every year in the springtime. Worthwhile?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And they even will send you the information, the recordings afterwards, so you can reference back to those. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And Brian, what was your experience like and what can you share with us?
This was my first time doing this. I mean, going into the breakout sessions. I did do, when I went back, when my first time with Keller Williams, when I came here 2 years ago, I went to the mastermind over in Austin, or the mega camp in Austin, and then we did the breakout. So it was sort of similar. I really love this because we went with different people, and then you stuck with those people for that given topic in the Zoom. And just to see it, it was more intimate versus being in a room with other agents, and then you're just trying to really get adjusted to to everybody in your surrounding. So we got to talk about the biggest thing for me, or takeaway, if I can remember, is just the lead gen and staying in front of our people. And like TJ said, we hear it all the time. I hear this all the time. As simple as just greeting someone happy birthday. But they really got into it there's a lot of agents that their whole business is just based on Facebook. So I forgot what city he was from, but he actually has a whole system where every morning his first thing to do is see whose birthday it is on that given day, and then he'll make sure to say happy birthday. And then we've learned in Bold to do at least 5 words. So like happy birthday, enjoy your day, here's to many more, right? And then he already has his assistants or his assistant to send out the birthday card to everybody on that Facebook. And he said everybody, when he'll send the birthday card, he'll send them they'll post on the wall, and then he'll send them a personal, either it's a DM or a text, and then they'll always say, thank you for that birthday card, that was so nice of you. How is the market? How is real estate? Right?
Such an easy
every time. Yeah. So I mean, and I think anyone we talk to, they always say, how's the market? Right? So it's just that conversation starter. And he's been able to just build his business just off of Facebook. Another good one was just going back to Bold is the contacts. Doing a lot of people during COVID were doing the reverse 100. I've never done a reverse 100, but I just talked about the one that the Bauer team did. You guys, Rachel, you guys did like a Halloween one, right?
Yeah, there was a Halloween one. There was also it was the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, Jenna did.
Yeah, and it was eye-opening that all these Keller Williams agents were all on this call, like, what's a reverse 100? No one knew what it was. So obviously they haven't taken Bold before. So we're able to explain what a reverse 100 was. And someone did during COVID. She did this lady in Atlanta. She put a drawing to a outdoor projector screen with a projector, and in order to be in the raffle, you had to call in and say you want to be part of the raffle. So she got 112 entries, and then she got like 7 listings from that. And then she didn't even have to have the projector, because she'll just get their address and then send it to them through Amazon. So you don't even really need to even have the actual prize. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So I decided I'm going to try it coming up on one of our listings. We did I had one of my kids hide in this room. We shot a Matterport video, and then I'm going to put it out there and have people click on my Matterport. And if you could find my son, Zach, then you let me know what room he's in, and then I'll put you in a drawing.
That's cool. We actually, our team just did one through one of our virtual open houses, where we did a $500 just a random gift card drawing, but they had to engage with us. They had to ask a question. They had to make a comment about the house. And we got 364 comments in a 15 or 20 minute period. It was phenomenal. And we've got 3 clients out of it so far. So
yeah, for 500, I'd comment too.
Free stuff. People love free stuff.
But our gift card's only going to be $20. So I'll tell you how that one is.
Well, this was a $700,000 house, so I was like, I didn't want to look cheap. But it does work. It's amazing, just the little things that you can throw out there that are just a little bit different. Thank you for sharing. Rachel, how was your experience?
It was good. It was definitely different. So I was trying to balance my daughter at the same time as attending, which is not easy. So to me, just like TJ said, I think the first day is something that I like the panel scenario, which is cool though, that they gave 2 options of ways you learn, right? So I used to be a teacher, so it's always best to put multiple ways to learn, and I really honed in on that. I also learned, unfortunately, don't be the smartest one in the room kind of scenario when it comes to certain topics, although you can sometimes not avoid it, right? So on the panels, of course, I was nowhere near that. The people on the panels were amazing. In our group, when it came to just the subject about kind of lead generation on Facebook and doing things like that,
I happened to be one of 2 people in our whole group who was actually actively using Command for lead generation, which was interesting, but also it was good because I got to share, and when you teach something, you know something better. So I did learn a lot from that. I think that it was a great way to realize that we're in a completely different world. And just like Chris always says, the reason why people take bold so many times is because every time you take it, you're personally in a different place. You're going to learn something totally different. Even if it was literally the same topic, right, that was taught to you, you're going to learn it differently. So that was definitely kind of where I was at with that.
So
Rachel,
I think they're going to have. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was in the same boat on one of the groups, so I asked the moderator to move me. So she moved me to another room.
I should have done
that. They're flexible enough to do that, though.
Yeah, they're able to. I was like, "Hey, this room is not what I'm looking for. Can you move me?" And she moved me right away. So
I should have been active. I was passive. Damn it.
And it's good that it was digital because it's easier to move digitally. If you're sitting at a table, it'd be a little weird to get up and walk away. Huh?
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank you for sharing. We're going to go into our Bold Pivot panel. That is another Bold Pivot coming up July 14th. So we wanted to gather some agents that had gone through this process also. So we're going to start with Dewey. Are you still with us, Dewey?
Good afternoon, Leslie. Yeah, I'm here.
There. So share with us how long you've been with Keller Williams and in real estate.
Yes, so good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Dewey Wynn, and I started with Keller Williams in December. However, I've attended some of the trainings that were available before that. I got licensed last June and attended some trainings at the Market Center and decided to take Bold. And my journey with Bold in the wintertime was just really amazing. I think Chris mentioned it earlier. I think the mindset portion of that course was worth all the money already, and to have tools to kind of jumpstart my career and have go-to material to adapt in a new career was very important for me. And I think the Bold Pivot course was a great supplement to what I've learned in the winter. So I'm really appreciative for the way we were able to do it online. And though I need to complete a lot of it, I'm very appreciative that we have the material online. You can go back to it and you can also see what other people were thinking about the program as well.
And Bold Pivot was designed so that if you can't attend all of it at the time that they had it scheduled, you could go back in and click on the link and view it. Everybody's got different schedules. So that was one of the benefits versus the other Bold Pivot or regular Bold. We actually had to be in the room for 8 hours, certain days of the week. So it is a little bit more flexible. So if you haven't done Bold Pivot, the next one is July 14th. And I would highly encourage you to take advantage of that. The cost was $99. I believe it's the same this time coming up. So what's one of the takeaways that you're going to implement in your business, Dewey?
I really like the Bold law that success is simple, not easy. So, one thing that I saw with Bold Pivot is we went over and reviewed a lot of, there was a lot of overlap. However, seeing it in a different perspective or having others share their experience really brings the message home. And you also get equipped with new materials, new tools, new scripts that you can definitely be appreciative for.
Great. Thank you. April Bradfield also took Bold Pivot. April, share with us how long you've been with KW.
Hi, guys. I'm April Bradfield. I started with Keller Williams in January. I went through the EP program through Keller Williams throughout last year. And so I did attend some of the trainings prior to my license. And then I just loved everybody in the office so much, I decided to stay with Keller Williams. So I'm very new, very green.
And this was your first Bold. You hadn't attended any Bold before this?
No, this is my very first Bold.
And so what was your experience like as a brand new agent taking this?
You know, I really actually enjoyed Bold just because it helped. Being a newer agent, you are a little bit more shy when it comes to reaching out to your sphere. You're shy to even just sit and talk about it with anybody that you meet, talk about real estate. And I was hands down that person. And I'm not a shy person if anybody knows me personally. So for me I was like scared to even mention that I sold real estate or this is what I do now. And Bold really kind of pulled me out of that. And I've noticed myself now, I don't care where I am, I'm telling everybody, or I'm asking everybody, what do you do for a living? And do you own your house? And I'm just kind of speaking it into existence. And I've gotten some really good results because of it.
So I believe they did a lot of scripting. Is that what helped you kind of build that confidence through Pivot?
The scripting, yes. Yes and no. I mean, I do a lot of role playing and scripting with my mother-in-law already. And if those of you that don't know, my mother-in-law is a productivity coach herself for Keller Williams in Palm Springs. So it's like built into me and surrounded by me. But I think a lot of it was just, one of the main things that helped me was business for business. So they had talked about like, well, if you're going to do something, for example, my AC broke at my house, and when he came over to fix it, I was like, hey, do you have a Facebook page? Let me post it on my business page and maybe I can get you some referrals, and just kind of asking for referrals, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So you implemented that, and that's part of your business plan now, is every time you interact with a company or an individual, you're exchanging information?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen some progress for it. I'll give you another example. I am looking for childcare right now for my twins. And she had mentioned, I spoke to the owner, and she had mentioned that she had a friend that was selling her house. And I said, oh, well, does she have an agent? And it was like instant. It just got brought up. And now I have a really good lead for that. And she is listing her house and trying to purchase. So had I not went through Bold, I don't think I would have been bold enough to actually just come out flat right and be like, well, does she have an agent? Is she working with anybody? I'd be happy to speak with her,
That's a great example of a result. And you just took this, what, a month ago?
I took it about a month ago, yes.
That's amazing. Great. Anything else you want to share for your ahas or takeaways?
No. Now that I'm on the spot, no.
Appreciate it. And then I know we're trying to wrap this up, so we've got Jess Tootle, who also took Bold Pivot. She'll be our last panelist. Jess, can you share with us how long you've been with Keller and doing real estate?
I've been with Keller since April, and I got my license back in September.
Right in COVID. You started in COVID. That's amazing.
Exactly. It was the perfect time. So when Bold Pivot training hit, I was like, oh, thank you, God. Because I needed the correct direction. And so being in that course, they gave me the handbook of what to do, how to do, when to do. Don't be afraid to do it. I really love how they always start with picking your bold laws and making sure that you set intentions, giving out the care calls. So I really enjoyed it. It was good. They gave me the scripts. The Ford was great. I was like, what is Ford? Isn't that a car? And then they broke it all down. I was like, oh, okay, that's different. But it was good. I really enjoyed it. It was perfect. It was right on time for me. So I was glad that I was
jumpstart your career and your business.
Exactly.
Is there one thing that stood out for you that you're implementing to get some results?
They gave us the 40 contacts a day. So 40 messages, 40 calls, either send a text message or messenger or DMs on Instagram. So yeah, that was good. And also making sure that I set my intentions every day.
Yeah, law of numbers. The more you contact, the more it's going to take off for you.
Yeah,
for sure. So again, the next one coming up is July 14th. So sounds like it's helping all of these folks that did it. I would highly recommend it. I didn't do it last time. I am going to do it this time. So jump on in. Thank you, everybody, for your time. I don't know, is there anybody that's wrapping up this meeting? Chris, are you still with us?
Well, I'm going to wrap up right quick. So first of all, Leslie, thank you. And And panelists, thank you. And I'm going to fill in my question from the beginning. What next? The question is, what are you going to do next? I guarantee you, every single person in the Zoom room today with all of us heard something that they need to do so they can answer the question, now what? Okay, so with that, let's make it a great day. Let's make it a great month. Let's make it a great second half. Let's make it a next great 5 years and beyond. Gary Keller says you can be anywhere you want to be in the next 5 years. And if you're an overachiever, you can probably cut that down to 3. Okay, so let's get after it. Have a fabulous day. And thank you all, because we're great because of all of you. Have a fabulous day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys. So good to see you.